All right, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. All right, what's up, fam? Welcome to another live watch-along party. Super happy to be joined by everybody. Don't forget you could chat along. Come chill and watch Till and all that jazz. Party music, get everything set up. Let's get ready to roll. Let's do this. All right. What is up, everybody? Sharks are about to take on the St. Louis Blues in what's going to be absolutely like must-win hockey here for Los Tiburones. I'm Aaron. Welcome to the party. Pardon me as I'm arriving fashionably late here. Trying to get this bad boy going. My fault. Give me 1 second, all right, fam? Give me 1 second here. Of course. One moment, fam. One moment. Get the music rolling here. We ain't missing much, just pregame. So let me turn this up really quick and get it squared away. My fault. All right. There we go. What is going on? How come it's not? Oh, I got it because of this bad boy. Boom, shakalaka. All right, there we go. My fault, everybody. Trying to get everything reconfigured here. Let's show you what we got. Boom. All right, now we're ready to party. All right. Thank you all for being patient there. It's been a hot minute since we got together for a watch-along party. We got some cool stuff I want to share with you. So this right here, of course, is going to be San Jose Sharks versus the St. Louis Blues. San Jose is an absolute must-win situation here. I mean, I think I've seen it on a website that tracks like NHL teams who have control of their playoff destiny and do not have control of their playoff destiny. And right now, the Sharks surprisingly do have control of their playoff destiny. However, they essentially have to win the final 13 games of the season. Let me turn this down so I'm not competing with the music here. So, again, San Jose Sharks have to absolutely win out the entire season here, all 13 games. They got the St. Louis Blues a couple of times. Obviously, the last game, they did not show up for the first period, got absolutely smoked by the Nashville Predators. And, we got them coming up as well in these remaining like dozen games after tonight. So you would think as a San Jose Sharks fans that considering the teams we're playing and where they are in the standings versus where we are in the standings, that we could gain some ground or potentially have like, maybe, edge them out of the standings. But no, Nashville definitely widened their lead. And again, as I mentioned, even though we could probably get away with 10 out of 13 victories, which is a lot to ask for entering this game with like a 5-game losing skid, especially with like 18 goals surrendered in the last 4 games. Anyways, it's a lot to ask for, but anything is possible. And honestly, the Sharks have to absolutely win every game, in my opinion, every single game if they want a chance at the playoffs. A lot of fans are already accepting the tank job. Not saying that's what they're doing, but they're already kind of just asking for it. Like, hey, it's 13. I think if we win tonight, it increases our odds of getting the final wild card spot by like 13.8% or something like that. We'll just chalk it up to like 13%. All right. We'll get rid of that decimal. And, if we lose, our chances of getting the last spot is like 5%. So this is an absolute, like, I know like the last game, it felt like the season was on the line, but this is essentially the season on the line right here. So let's get rid of this and let's just cool little graphic I wanted to debut for y'all here. Oh gosh, epically failed on that one. Let's do that one more time. My bad. Boom, one more graphic. Yeah. All right. So it sounds like Sharks are playing at the Enterprise Center. Let's get some of our pregame show here. I know that the game's about to get rolling here, so let's just do a little quick pregame here, a little preview of today. So St. Louis does lead the season series 1-0. We do play them one more time on the 30th. All three games against the Blues have been here in the month of March. So the last time in San Jose, the San Jose Sharks lost in overtime 3-2. That was back on the 6th. Sharks last 10 games, they're 2-6-2. As I mentioned, they scored 18 goals in the last like 4 games. Is ridiculous and uncharacteristic. Sharks all-time regular season record against the Blues is 49-61, 2-12. It's the 125th regular season game against these two squads. All-time regular season record while playing at Enterprise Center is 27-24, 1-5. The Blues are absolutely on the heater in their last 10 games, 7-1-2. And as I mentioned, Sharks are currently on a 5-game losing streak. Some players to watch as the puck is just dropped here: Kiefer Sherwood, Macklin Celebrini, and Willem Eklund. These three players, rather, in the last 3 seasons are the Sharks' top performers against St. Louis. What's surprising is how Macklin Celebrini, only being his second year in the league, is one of the top Sharks to perform against the Blues, having 8 points in just 4 games played against this club. All right, so let's get rolling here. We have game on. Game on here. So I'm going to turn on the music. And again, welcome to the watch along party. This is going to be an interesting game for everyone in Sharks territory. So watch along, chat if you like. Hopefully, San Jose Sharks can get it done, baby. Hopefully we get them done. All right, let me just get everything squared away on my end here, fam. Again, this is the first watch-along party that we've done this season for San Jose Sharks hockey. The last watch-along party we did was actually for the USA gold medal game. That was pretty epic. So a little bit rusty. We normally do this. We used to rather do this almost every other away game. Last season, yours truly, unfortunately, hadn't had the availability in terms of night goes. Just a little personal thing on the side. I was working a second shift nights. Thank God I got my nights back, so I can enjoy some more hockey and play hockey, as a matter of fact. So that's the benefit of not having to work in the evenings anymore. And then I also enrolled, just a little personal side note, I enrolled in the bachelor's degree program. I'm about a year deep into that, so about another year or so to go for public relations. So your boy's been busy. You've been busy, but been keeping up with the Sharks. And of course, you can find all of our awesome content covering San Jose Sharks at Shark City Hockey on Instagram. And thank you for those of you who are joining me right now on YouTube. But let's get rolling here. Enough of the personal stuff. Again, San Jose Sharks absolutely must win this game. Every single game remaining out of the season. And I might do play-by-play here and there, but this is, again, more of just live reactions from a fan. And, again, just kind of chill and talk till as we, hope our boys could, make it happen here. All right. So far in the first 17, in the first minute, 2 minutes and 12 seconds, it's just kind of been back and forth. Of course, you could follow the action along on our game tracker here. You can see the puck moving on the rink. The broadcast on our end might be a little behind because I tend to notice that the live game tracker that we provide here for y'all is like if you're sitting down watching this bad boy at the rink, in the arena, in the venue. All right. All right, so the Blues are setting up in the Shark zone right now. Oh, right in the slot. Great play defensively. The Sharks to clean that one up. And now they come in a 3-on-2, where now you have Celebrini, Smith, and Chernishoff on the ice. Celebrini and Chernishoff are working it by the half wall. And in the trapezoid, Smith had opportunity for one-timer in the slot, but wasn't able to get a clean shot. Looks like there's a penalty coming up for the San Jose Sharks, so that's great. That's absolutely what we need. Probably why, that's probably why Smith kind of found. As I'm looking at the replay here, Smith had like a clean look right, like maybe like 5 feet in front of the netminder there, but was unable to for some reason or another get a shot off. So let's see what we got. All right, so we have some 5-on-4 hockey. Sounds like Sharks are on the power play. Still a brilliant blast from the point. That gets blocked and cleared out by St. Louis here. Let me get the clock up for y'all here. All right. All right, that's the other thing about today is Tyler Toffoli is in the lineup, as well as Yaroslav Askarov, who's been out. I mean, this is a moment for Askarov to really prove what he's worth, in my opinion. I mean, that kind of sounds a little out of pocket, but to be 100 with you, like, in my opinion, like this season, even prior to the him being out for a couple of games, just hasn't been that impressive, man. His last 10 games, he's 2-6-2. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to be super I'm hoping we can win this game, so I don't want to do any jinx. But Askarov, we've had him for 2 seasons now, and he spent a lot of time on the on the injured list. That's not his fault. That's something you can hold somebody to. That's kind of jacked up, to be real with you. I mean, I myself has sustained hockey injuries, and they absolutely suck. But we could have definitely used him, and more specifically, we could have used him at his best this whole season. Just hasn't been happening. All right, so that's it. Sharks power play is over. Gotta configure all this bad boy. All right, we got some comments here saying, which side are the Sharks scoring? So this right here is kind of configured to be like if we're watching the game at home on the screen, which, 1 second. But what you'll see is it'll show the puck moving, saying Sharks attacking. So if I'm not mistaken, it should be, if you're looking at it, your left side, right? So, and thank you, by the way. Thank you for asking. My fault. So I'm trying to get my thoughts here. Not my thoughts. I'm trying to get this all squared away. Again, fashionably late to this watch along party. Just to be 100 with you, I had to take out Sebastian James Barkey for his walk, so I could be able to watch this game and chill. You know what I mean? All right, let me see. Let me make sure all my layers are. Yep. Move that. Scoreboard should be over you. There we go. Now let's do that alone. All right. Hoping we are all squared away here now. All right, so St. Louis gets a power play. Some more 5-on-4 hockey here. So as you can see right there, my fam, okay, my best. According to this, the orientation is a little backwards from what we're watching, which makes sense because I'm thinking that the benches are supposed to be the bottom here of this rink. So the Blues are attacking, based off you're looking at this from your screen, they're attacking to the left, Sharks attacking to the right for this first period. All right. Blues are setting up, or they're trying to set up the power play right now. From the point, Broberg sent it to the face-off circle. A nice save by Askey there. Beautiful save. All right, fam. Again, thank you for joining along. This is a watch-along party with, real-time reactions to the action. I'm Aaron James. I'm your host today for the San Jose Sharks facing off against the St. Louis Blues. Right now, not much action. Two power plays, two opportunities for both teams. Right now, about 30 seconds remaining in the power play for the St. Louis Blues. Pretty much that's all it's been. Right now, 2 shots on goal for the Blues, 1 shot on goal for San Jose. Philip Broberg got called 2 minutes for holding the stick against Igor Chernyshov at 3 minutes and 40 seconds to the first period. And Adam Gaudette is in the box right now for about another dozen seconds for hooking Matthew Kessel. So it looks like the Sharks will kill off that penalty, which is great. Again, San Jose absolutely needs to win every game. I know Sharks fans are hopeful, like myself. I mean, I want to see playoff hockey. The reality situation is probably not going to happen. The Sharks are still surprisingly in control of their own destiny. If they want to get to the postseason, if they want to clinch that final wildcard spot in the West, they have to win all 13 games. Let's be real. The locker room players in the locker room were suggesting that maybe if they win 10 out of 13, that we could get, maybe sneak into the postseason. But as I mentioned at the top of the program, man, you can't really put us all on Ned. Ned has been fantastic in net, and a lot of Sharks fans felt like he should be the number 1 goaltender. Uncharacteristically, though, in the last 4 games after Askarov kind of went down to injury in practice, again, Askarov has injured his lower body 4 times in the last 2 years since he's been with San Jose. Uncharacteristically, Ned just surrendered 18 goals in 4 games. And I've said this on our flagship podcast, Frostbitten. You can't just put it on, as far as defense goes, you can't just put it on the guys in the blue line. The whole entire team has to play defensively, and they have to help out Ned. So, and right now, the Sharks are playing a lot of this first period in their own end. Despite only having, despite just recently doing the PK, they are spending a lot of time in their own end. There's Askarov outside of the net in the trapezoid. Man, that guy needs to stay in net. I know he loves to get excited and loves to go try and make plays, but honestly, I prefer him to stay in the crease versus trying to play the puck. More often than not, he puts the team in an undesirable situation, preventable situations. Ooh, Orlov gets thrown to the ice. Just so you know, this is the San Jose Sharks' 70th game of the season. As far as St. Louis goes, this is their 71st. Ironically enough, even though I don't think St. Louis has much, they don't really have control of their own destiny in the playoffs. I highly doubt they'll sneak in. They're just 1 point behind the Sharks. So, these are games that, they're in the San Jose Sharks' hands. They're literally in control of their own destiny until, or rather, they're in control of their own destiny, but they're losing these games to teams that they should be racking, points up in the standings. Nashville looked a little solid. Some will say that they're playoff ready. I don't think so. The Sharks just did not show up the last game. And, here's another team, St. Louis, who right now is a 7th spot for wildcard positioning. If you want to talk as far as the entire league goes, they are the 28th ranked team out of 32. That's a polite way of saying 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the 5th worst team in the National Hockey League. The Sharks in the last 3 weeks have dropped from 21 to 27. So that's kind of been getting a lot of fans echoing, or rather talking about the tank job being back on. So kind of sucks, but it is what it is. All right. TV timeout. I'll change up the beats here. Again, go ahead and feel free to drop your comments, questions, or even your zero chill takes, as we call it here. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to win this game? Do you even want the San Jose Sharks to win this game? Are you on Team Tank? Do you want the Sharks to just pretty much blow the rest of the freaking dozen games or so left? Honestly, I'm not surprised that these L's are piling up on the road. I could see them, maybe trying to get a dub at home. I think all of us are kind of thinking the same thing here in Sharks territory, as far as those who like to go to the games and those who live in San Jose or in the Bay Area or are able to make it out to the Bay Area. I think as long as they win that last game at home, the fan appreciation night, we'll all be happy, because at this point everyone's just rooting for better draft positioning. I don't know if that's how the players feel. Apparently, they say there's still hope, but I'm not giving up on my squad, man, but you gotta show me something. Right now, they're not doing too bad. It's been a decent game. It's only been half a period, but a little more than half a period. But at least they're not getting smashed on right now, right? Anyways. Please. All right. Shot right off to the face-off dot. Askarov gloves that one down. Shot on goal by Cam Fowler, saved by Yaroslav Askarov. Another face-off in the Sharks zone here. Won by Jack Finley. San Jose Sharks are able to clear the zone. Who is that? Kiefer Sherwood. Chief Keef now enters the zone, sends it to the half wall, puts it on the opposite side of the half wall, the other side of the ring to Eklund. Battle now. Wenberg, Alexander Wenberg, Willem Eklund, and Kiefer Sherwood are in the trapezoid in the offensive zone. To the point, nice shot by Muhammad Bulin. But that looks to get high and wide off of deflection there. Alfaro's shots blocked by Jack Finley. Good work by the Sharks line here, man. I believe this is technically their second line, give or take. I mean, I guess second line. That's going to be Alexander Wenberg, Kiefer Sherwood with the blast from the point. That gets saved by Joel. Is it Hofer or Hoffer? Correct me in the comment section. That was a good freaking shift by the San Jose Sharks. That's exactly what you want to see. Someone said boring ducking game, dude. For a second there, I thought you were Anaheim Ducks fan, but I'm pretty sure that was autocorrect. Boring pucking game. Let's see what we have here. Of course, it's the last leg of my parlay over, and I need it. Damn it. You know what? That's cool. Welcome, everybody. A lot of y'all who have money on the line tend to join me for these watch-along parties, so I'm glad to be joined. 4 shots on goal for the Sharks, 6 for St. Louis. Ooh, Smith again with the chance in the slot. That shot is blocked by Dvorsky there. A little off target. Now the Blues into the Shark zone, and they're offsides. Might as well show this comments on this. Show them right here on the stream now. All right, man. Thank you all for joining along. Again, I'm Aaron. Super fan, diehard, whatever you want to call it. Usually I just say I bleed till. So this live stream is coming from San Jose, California, the heart of Sharks territory. It's been absolute been a pain in the ass, if I can be honest with you, watching my team lately, man. To watch them be like just a few weeks ago, a few points, like not just in the last wild card spot, but literally like a few victories away from climbing up and taking the horrible Pacific Division, like being the best in the Pacific Division. Horrible division this year, as some will say. I really don't care about that. But it's just a pain. It was a pain to see. Ooh, stop shot. Nice zone entry and shot. But to wrap up my my thought there, it's been really, really hard to watch these guys go from in a wild card position, few victories away from being the best in the Pacific, to like almost orchestrated like 5 losses in a row. It's crazy, man. All right. All right, Michael Misa in the faceoff dot. He's gonna go against. Oh, they took him out. Weak. All right, they put in Colin Graff. So of course, Colin Graff is gonna lose that faceoff to Pavel Bunekovic. I cannot pronounce that. I apologize. So the pace has been pretty fast. Not the most offensive. My bad. I was holding my breath as Oscar Wood out in the trapezoid to play the puck again. Not the most offensively productive game. Sharks have had some chances, though, and obviously I prefer the zeros right now versus 4 or 5 goals. Another shot by Mario Ferraro blocked from the point. Here comes Colin Graff, probably the most impressive of all these forwards, undrafted. I would say General Manager Mike Greer, a lot of people are going to praise him for Macklin Celebrini drafting him. I mean, when you're the worst in the league and you got number 1 overall and that's projected number 1 overall pick, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's kind of a gimme. But out of all the transactions, whether it's draft, free agency, trade, is what I'm trying to get at. I think Colin Graff is like a testament to like Mike Greer and his, hockey insight, hockey wisdom, whatever you want to call it. Him and his staff. Colin Graff's been absolutely amazing for the last 2 seasons, not just this season. So Sharks are struggling to kind of exit their own zone. Orlov tries to stretch pass from blue line to Eklund, and the Sharks just are unable to cleanly enter the offensive zone. Blues are just kind of like shutting them down right there at the blue line. All right, Dickinson now sends it ahead. Another neutral zone turnover right there in front of the bench by the scorekeeper. The center ice line. Again, the Sharks are just struggling to get out of their own zone. Oh, Chernyshov with an opportunity. He drives to the net, but he's bumped off the puck. That will probably count as a shot on goal. But that was pretty. That was a non-threatening shot for Joel Hoyfer to stop. All right, so we got a TV timeout. Gives me an opportunity to share this live stream on my socials, so just pardon me for a second. Let's switch up the music here, huh? I wonder what this is. Not what I'm looking for. All right. All right, so about 4 minutes remaining in this first period. We have 7 shots on goal for the San Jose Sharks, 6 for St. Louis. For your Sharks, the shots on goal are coming courtesy of Kiefer Sherwood, Colin Graff, Macklin Celebrini, Michael Misa, Igor Chernyshov, and Vincent Desharnais. Actually, Sam Dickinson as well. So, we're kind of getting from everywhere. Mario Ferraro has a couple of shot attempts that were blocked. And, yeah, still scoreless here in St. Louis. All right, face off deep in St. Louis zone, won by Macklin Celebrini. That's a trend, dude. Okay, so whenever the Sharks in the offensive zone, they win the face off, but the opposing team, it's the second game in a row I've seen this, beat them off of the jump and take away the puck. Like it's insane. It's like we win the face-off, yet it generates an offensive zone exit and rush for the other team. Anyways, another giveaway by Sam Dickinson in defensive zone means that Askarov is going to have to essentially cover that one up to bail out the Sharks. Line change going on right now. Adam Gaudette is in the faceoff dot. All right, there we go. Nice win by Adam Gaudette to the corner half ball. Sharks are able to advance zone. Nice shots by Adam Gaudette. Unfortunately, that was blocked by Jonathan Berger. I do not know how to say his name. My apologies. Is it Berggren? Berggren. That sounds about right. This has been the Sharks' best line. It's been the Sharks' best line. Adam Gaudette. My bad, I'm watching. Sharks are trying to get that freaking puck out of their zone. But that checking line was what I was trying to say. That checking line of Gaudette, Ostapchuk, and Barclay Goodrow. They've been pretty solid for us his last couple of games. And by solid, I don't mean offensively or defensively. I mean, they've been bringing the tempo. They've been generating. They've been playing with some freaking life, man. Ooh, Sharks trying to set up. Maybe a little too much passing. I would like to see him throw the puck on the net right there. All right, Hofer now holding the puck. He's pulling the Asker off of the Misa right there, the trapezoid. Oh, you lucky. So Hofer was handling the puck in his own trapezoid, leaving the net wide open. Michael Misa came to press. He ends up essentially getting the puck. I don't know if it got deflected or what, but that went out into the netting. So face off in the Sharks zone, or rather the St. Louis' zone coming up here. A minute 41 left in the first period. Colin Graff in the face-off dot. He has to Foley and Celebrini on the wing. I don't know why they keep throwing Celebrini out of the dot, but it is what it is. All right, so Sharks so far they're looking pretty decent, man. We'll see how the physicality impacts them, because right now they're being outmatched when it comes to hits. The Blues have 12 hits. Sharks have 7. But the Sharks have 8 shots on goal. Blues have 6. So this is kind of what you expect to mention, to highlight that comment earlier, which I'm just bringing up one more time when it's a boring game. Well, that's what you expect when you have the 5th and 6th worst teams in the National Hockey League competing. For Sharks, this is a must-win. Forget playoff position, man. They have to absolutely come out here and handle this team in the next 40 minutes, just for some kind of redemption, and honestly for some kind of respect. Respect, man. Put some respect on their name, because the way they went down in Nashville the other night was actually Bootsy. That was effing Bootsy, man. But that was a pretty fast period, considering that opening face-off went down maybe about 5:10. So 30 minutes almost, a little bit more, give or take, for this first period come to an end here. Still got about 35 seconds remaining here. Face off deep in the Shark zone. Ostapchuk is in the face off circle. I know bro says that this game is a little bit boring, but again, as long as it's respectable, man. I was a little worried I was going to come on this live stream watch along party, which I was thinking about doing the last game. Thank goodness I did it, and then come over here and watch them get absolutely massacred. So I'm kind of glad that at least it's a little entertaining. Oh, good roll with the great opportunity. Or rather, Zach Ostapchuk with the great opportunity, and that looks like it was saved. All right, that's it. That's the end of the first period, my fam. That's the end of the first. Score is 0-0. Someone said 1,000%. I imagine they're regarding as far as getting some respect on that name. They definitely struggle with physicality, but they know how to be aggressive and should apply that pressure more. 100. Absolutely 100, or in this case 1,000, just to mimic what you were saying. The the Sharks, if there's one thing that is surprising to me this season is that physicality. With Goodrow and Desharnais, and unfortunately Reeves is going to probably be out for the rest of the season. I hope he can come back. He's listed week to week. I hope he can come back for at least one more time until, because there are rumors. The guy, we're the same age. He's 39. He's looking at 40. I'm looking at 40. And it's not official, but it seems to be like an accepted, known fact. I don't even know if those words put together make sense. But it seems to be like this might be his last season in the National Hockey League. So as you can look at the stats right here, 60% of the current, or rather, you know what? I know there's not 3 in the net tacos you get, but I think I'm going to take a quick step to the side here so I can enjoy my local taco here before it gets too cold. It gets too cold and soggy. But it seems like what I'm trying to say is it seems as if this game is kind of lightweight being controlled by the St. Louis Blues. Puck possession is 54%, so not too bad. The Sharks are they're making the most of the opportunities, and they've definitely had more chances than what the shot clock is recording there. But nonetheless, if you're a betting man, I know we have some people with money on the line here. Right now, the Sharks, according to Money Puck, are being favored. They are getting the deserved to win meter about 60%. Scoring chances. I wonder if I should show this. Why not? Let's just show this. Let's have some fun here. So most of the Sharks scoring chances are within 6 feet, which is great. Blues' best opportunity was probably about 7 feet away from Oski. But nonetheless, it's going to be a long game. But if you have money on the line, right now the Sharks are looking of having a deserved win meter is 59.2%. They're still saying that the Blues are favored to win this game, which absolutely grinds my gears. We got another comment here. I don't think the recent Cherney incident kind of had Graf and Celebrini, or I do think the recent Cherney, so for those of you who don't know, that's Chernyshov, Igor Chernyshov. I do think the recent Cherney incident kind of had Graf and Celebrini on a tilt towards physicality. I hope they can turn it around the second period. Yep. Celebrini has also been getting targeted lately. A lot of shots to the dome that are not being penalized, which is kind of the referee and league's way of saying, hey, if you want to take a crack at our star player, by all means do so, right? But the point I was trying to make earlier is you'd be surprised with guys like Chernishoff, Goodrow, Reeves, who for some reason or another stopped getting as many minutes down the line, even though I feel like when he plays with Goody and when he plays with Ostapchuk or Goodrow, Gaudette, like those three players, they just feed off each other. They just bring energy. So whenever Ryan Reeves is in the lineup, obviously for those of you who are not to know, he went out there, which is what I kind of hate. I don't want to say that there's fights that are scripted in the National Hockey League, but there's definitely players, and I'm not saying that it's like bounties, all right? But what I'm trying to say is like, there are players that you essentially put in your lineup, and I know the old school fashion or the old school term that is kind of old fashioned and frowned upon these days is called goon. I'm not saying that that's what Ryan Reeves is. As a matter of fact, I think he's the exact opposite of it. I think he's just a grown ass man, it's how to handle his right. But back to the point is, I felt like when he went out there and that fight happened so early, it's kind of like, hey, you're in the lineup and the expectation is for you to go out there and kind of bring momentum our way. And it's just so damn unfortunate that it seemed like maybe he dislocated his finger. Something happened because he tried to get it popped back in and it just kept bothering him. And, it had Goodrow being like emotional during post game, which kind of led some Sharks fans to suspect that maybe he's done for the season. And I've said this on our flagship podcast back in January, and the reason I bring this up is because I know a lot of people probably didn't want to acknowledge it at that time. Now they're just kind of seeing it and they're feeling it. But Ryan Reeves has done so much for the San Jose Sharks culture this year that like he's going to be one of those like forever Sharks, in my opinion. It's scripted right now, League versus Sharks right now, to see what they can handle. Yeah, that was a bummer. Yeah, absolutely. So I agree with that. Got a young roster, truly. Regardless of how we feel about some of those vets that I mentioned, who would normally bring the physicality and set the tone for the Los Tiburones. In all honesty, like a lot of these guys aren't going to probably be on the squad next season. So this is all for like, essentially testing the young cats, the young squad here, like the Smiths and the Celebrinis and the Grafs and the Eklunds, and just see what they can manage. We got another comment here. I think Reeves will stay, or I think Reeves will still stay with management. I believe that's what you're trying to say. For sure. All right. Let's quickly do a little bit of a impromptu, because I didn't get my graphics squared away. So pardon me, that's my fault. Let's do a quick little intermission report here, and then I'm going to step away really quick so I can enjoy some tacos. All right. So far, you have San Jose Sharks have 9 shots on goal. St. Louis Blues have 6. Faceoffs are in favor of the St. Louis Blues. They've won 55.6% of the faceoffs. Let's go into the summary here. We're just going to do this on the Sharks side, since this is a Sharks fan watch-along party. Sharks have won 8 out of the total 18 faceoffs taken in that first period. 6 of 15 were won in even strength. That's 40%. 1 of 1 on the power play. 50%, 1 of 2 shorthanded. As far as breaking it down per zone, Sharks have won 2 of 5 offensive zone faceoffs on even strength, 4 of 7. That's 57%. Defensive zone, even strength, and 0 of 3 in the neutral zone while on even strength. While on the power play, San Jose Sharks are 1 for 1 in the offensive zone. So breaking it down by zone, that's 3 for 6 total, regardless of the situation or regardless of strength. So 3 for 6 in the offensive zone, 5 out of 9 in the defensive zone, 0 of 3 neutral zone, grand total 8 out of 18, 44% of the faceoffs won. Let's see who's actually doing pretty solid right now. Colin Graff is 0 for 2 in the faceoff dot. Zach Ostapchuk is 1 for 3. Macklin Celebrini is 2 for 5. Michael Misa is 1 for 1. Adam Gaudette is 1 for 5. And Alexander Wenberg is 3 for 5. All right. That right there is your face-off summary. Let's go into quickly the penalties. That first period, San Jose successfully killed off a penalty that was committed by Adam Gaudette. He got called 2 minutes for hooking at 6:09. And the St. Louis Blues failed to score on, or rather, the San Jose Sharks failed to score on their only power play opportunity when Philip Broberg was called 2 minutes for hooking at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So it's 0-0. Oski looking pretty good thus far in his first game back. First time back since March 10th. So, of course, as I mentioned at the top of the program, let's just do that. Let's do that now. I'll just say it. Season series is being led by St. Louis. They won the last game 3-2 in overtime in San Jose on March 6th. The next game and the last game between these two clubs will be later on this month, at the end of the month, in just about 4 days. The 30th back in San Jose. So I think I might be at that game. I don't know. Let me check my calendar. Anyways, on step aside really quick. Y'all enjoy some of this music. And when we come back, we'll have the second period with some more watch along with real-time reaction to the action right here on Shark City Hockey. And of course, chat amongst yourselves. Chat amongst yourselves if you like. Yo, my bad. I'm taking a taco break. The boy's up in his face and didn't want to be on camera, all right? 1 second. I'm trying to get my My late ass lunch here. All right, welcome to the party. So, you haven't missed much. You haven't missed much, but I'm glad you're here. Obviously, these comments might be, reactions might be a little delayed. Now that I'm done eating tacos, I can put my freaking sweater on and my shoulder sharky. Comments might be a little bit delayed here. The game might be a little bit ahead of what we're watching. I think it's about a 10-second delay from like the social media live stream, so pardon me. But you haven't missed much. You haven't missed much. Sounds like Sharks are in the game. That's like the best thing you ask for, right? They're in this game. So we're about the second period. Go down here shortly here. As a matter of fact, let's see exactly how far we are from the second period. We're about a minute and 30 seconds away from puck drop. So let's update everything here. Again, thank you all for joining me here for this watch along party with real-time reaction to the action. I am your host, Aaron James. You probably recognize me from maybe you do, maybe you don't, from Frostbitten, the flagship podcast of Shark City Hockey. We are about to have the second period start here. Again, this watch along party is happening in San Jose, the live stream, but the San Jose Sharks are playing in Enterprise Center in St. Louis. Just wanted to show that graphic one more time. All right. All right, so we're just waiting for the TV timeout to be over here. Again, you haven't missed much. We just did our intermission report. All we can say is we're thankful that the Sharks are still in this one, still making it respectable. I think that right there is probably the one thing that sounds like Sharks fans just want to see happen, right? They want to make sure that they don't get absolutely freaking spanked again. It's just give us something to freaking, especially, okay, so I don't know about you, wherever you're chiming in from this live watch along party, but here in the Bay Area, sports has been kind of like been a little sour for us here. Yesterday, well, let's just bring it back to the last Sharks game. Absolutely manhandled by the Predators. Then you had the Giants, the San Francisco Giants, opening night, right? Major League Baseball, regular season begins, and the Giants get to play the New York Yankees on Netflix, right? So I know it's supposed to be a national broadcast, but unless you have a subscription to Netflix, then, But back to the point is, absolutely spanked 7-0. Turning on the Barracuda game, and I gotta say this right now. Please, somebody start a GoFundMe for the freaking Barracuda. They need a better camera in there, dude. They're the only team in the AHL whose home video feed looks like it's 480p. That's the last thing I want to say. I'm tired of it. Sorry, I'm just tired of it. And they lose. So please, Sharks, give us something to just, give us something to, be happy and proud about. We are aware of the situation here in San Jose. We are aware that, the main club, the main roster is looking very, very slim to maybe none. The chances to go into the postseason. Obviously, the CUDA, they went to the postseason last year. They look like they're in a prime position to get back to the Calder Cup playoffs yet again. But as far as National Hockey League goes, we want to see a dub. We absolutely want to see a dub. So open your face off. Let's do this. All right. Game on, baby. Game on. My bad. Is the music too loud? No, it's good. All right. All right. All right. Sharks trying to get some offense. Wenberg, nice pass through the high danger zone through the slot. Eklund fans at a puck that was loose in front of Hofer there. Now Mukamadulin has to retreat all the way back. He has two. Woo! He had two Blues players on him. They try to do a shell shock for you Ninja Turtle fans out there. And Mukamadulin stands up and just absolutely throws him down. They try to freaking gain up on him in the Sharks' offensive zone, and he stood his ground and he laid him out. I like it. I absolutely love it. Oh, here come the Blues now, trying to set up. All right, Sharks able to clear the zone. It's just kind of some sloppy hockey right now, man. The zone entry, off shots, or target shots off target. Pardon me as I fumble my words. But we're only like 2 minutes into the first, so it's all good. Oh, man, a leading pass opportunity for Toffoli. Here he comes. He shoots it. Another one off target. All right, here come the Blues now. Again, this is the type of hockey that you expect to see from two teams who they're probably not trying to best each other. Let's just be 100 here, right? Right now, as it stands, the Blues have a top 5 pick. If they beat the Sharks, they jump them, and the Sharks become a bottom 5 team again. So this kind of reminds me of the last few seasons when the San Jose Sharks were in for a moment there before they went on a late season skid 2 years ago. Were in the running to have the best odds at Connor Bedard. Fight, Zach Ostapchuk. Oh, what a right by Ostapchuk, and another right, and another right, and another right, and another right. Oh my gosh! Somebody save this dude. Somebody save him. Refs get involved, bro. He's had enough. He's had enough. Yeah. Who could someone try calling me right now? How random. Hockey's on, baby. Anyways, can't take that call right now. Wow. Logan Mailou, if that's how you say it, got absolutely lit up by Zach Ostapchuk. What a freaking fight. Oh my gosh. All right. Y'all give me a quick minute so I can call back whomever it was bugging me right now during this hockey game. I'll turn up the music. Y'all chat amongst yourselves, all right? Probably spam, but then just make sure everything's all good, all right? All right, as I thought, probably just a robocall. People they should know better to be bothering me during Sharks hockey, man. Come on. You have all day to hit me up. That's it. Off the clock. All right. 4 minutes to the second period. San Jose Sharks are on a power play, though it doesn't seem that way. Excuse me. St. Louis Blues are on a power play. Okay, it's about to say. So let me get that squared away. My bad, fam. As my attention got pulled away from the game there for a quick second. You don't know how much that grinds my gears, but it is what it is. All right, so St. Louis is on a power play for about another 20 seconds here. All right. Why does the song haven't got no music? All right. Sharks do kill off that penalty, so that's good. That's good for us. Ten shots even for both teams. Let me see. Do I want to? The way this game is going, I could just kind of count shots. We could always do that. Let's do that. All right, 5-on-5 hockey. Face off deep in Shark zone. Won by Celebrini. Stretch pass from the zone is turned over. Smith's not able to connect to it at the blue line, so here come the Blues. All right, Celebrini, Smith. Who else is out there? See how Warsawski shuffled the lines for this second period here. Was that Eklund? That's solid. That's a good lineup. All right, TV timeout. TV timeout. Good. I'm gonna try to freaking figure out what's going on here real quick. I'm starting to get freaking exasperated here, man. I want to see some freaking action. I mean, thank you, Zach Ostapchuk, for making it interesting there. But They gave him a 10. Oh my gosh, they gave him a 10-minute misconduct. Weak. Anyways, I want to see some goals from the Sharks now, man. Come on. But again, like I said moments ago, I would not be surprised if either team is not trying to win this game. That would not shock me one bit, as the Sharks and the Blues, the Blues 69, is it 69 points in the standings? Let me bring that back up one more time so I can make sure I'm not talking out of pocket here. Yeah, 69 points in the standings, and the Sharks have 70. So the Sharks are the 6th worst team. Right now, the Blues are the 5th. Whoever wins this game is going to become, they either will become or they'll stay the 6th best team. Whoever loses this game will either stay or become the 5th, worst, sorry. Bottom line is these guys are probably not trying to, the Blues probably not trying to lose draft position. Sharks probably not trying to, separate themselves from, the bottom 5. I know it sounds ridiculous, but come on. Let's go, boys. Since everyone's talking about essentially getting better draft positioning, that's the only reason I can see this game kind of being a little underwhelming, a little uneventful, with the exception of that last fight. All right, here come the Sharks. Almost halfway through this game here. 7 minutes to the second period. Wenberg cycling around, takes the puck from behind the trapezoid, skates in almost a complete circle, pass it to Eklund. That shot goes into the netting because it's blocked. Man. Come on, Sharks. Some uneventful hockey here. Shot on goal by Tara Toffoli is saved, and that goes out of play. So Joel Hofer deflects the puck into the netting, and we'll have a face-off deep in San Luis zone. Adam Gaudette against Dalibor Dvorsky. Gaudette wins this face-off, but he wins it straight to the Blues winger there by the wall. So Blues are able to clear it. Sam Dickinson turns it over in the trapezoid. My gosh. Dude, I'm all for Sam Dickinson. I think he was a great selection, 11th overall. I was there in the Sphere when the Sharks took Celebrini and Dickinson in Las Vegas in the draft, and he was absolutely outstanding for the London Knights. But this guy, I think they need to put him in John Klingberg's place as like the quarterback. He's truly an offensive defenseman, and I get it. If you want to develop this guy and you want to turn him into a true, NHL blue liner, he's got to defend. But when you see him on the rush, when you see him lead the rush, which sounds weird because again, he's a defender, you could see him in his form, true form. You can see him, like that's his game. But defensively, man, he is struggling. Like, I've been trying to turn a blind eye to it, trying to ignore it, but it's just becoming painstakingly obvious that this guy is like, as some fans suggest, would probably benefit from some time in the AHL, man. Like, the amount of turnovers he has, not just in the defensive zone, but like within 5 feet or less of the netminder, right by the crease, is scary, and it's becoming a trend. He's literally consistently losing the puck by the right post. Askarov is hurt. Oh my gosh! Again for the please be going for an award, an acting award. Please trying to draw a penalty, but Askarov looks shaken up. He's on his back. Now he's on his side. He has his blocker and glove hand up near the mass chest area. He's got to his knees. Don't see a trainer coming to the ice yet, so I don't know if it's that serious. What happened there? Oh my gosh. Walker lands on Askarov, and you know what? I said this earlier during the stream. Yaroslav Askarov has been hurt 4 times, 4 lower body injuries since he's joined the San Jose Sharks. A lot of people forgot that he didn't even participate in the training camp last season because he was hurt. All right, now there's a trainer out there, so who knows? Took the mask off. They're discussing stuff, but Askarov has been banged up, man, whether it's in the National Hockey League or the American Hockey League. Same thing happened during the playoffs and the Calder Cup playoffs. I mean, the guy is getting shaken up. It's not his fault. Not trying to like throw shade. I'm just simply saying, like, just as much as Sharks fans like kind of hold their breath when he plays a puck and leaves the net. Oh, dude, that was all bad. Same thing happens when, he takes a bump. It's always scary, man. Reason Nedy's gonna go in the game. Nedeljkovic has jumped over the bench. Wow, dude. What I was going to say to finish my thought is Askarov is supposed to be our, he's projected. He was built up to be, the future of the franchise. Still has a chance. I ain't trying to start again throwing shade, but we gave a first round pick for him that we acquired in a Tomas Hertl trade from Vegas. But damn, dude. He's a fringe starter. Of course, he's still a rookie, he's still young. But if he isn't having a bad game, he's not playing at all. And that's just a trend that's concerning for a fan. All right? Especially because you're a goalie. Any kind of lower body injury, the way it looks is like it looked like he tweaked his ankle or his leg on there. And again, I'm just watching, spectator, watching from what I see on the TV screen. But if it's a lower body injury, that's going to be the 5th lower body injury, which for a goaltender, that's all bootsy, man. It's like, to use my other favorite sports team in the Bay Area, the San Francisco 49ers. I'm a big Brock Purdy fan. But, when you have an injury to your throwing arm, you get concerned, right? You get concerned about that position because you obviously need that throwing arm to play that position. You want to make kick saves. You want to make butterfly saves. You're going to need to have that lower body healthy. And damn, dude, I just mentioned that this is his first game back since injuring himself in practice, which is how he's got injured twice already in practice. And he can't even finish the damn half game. It's not his fault. Walker freaking landed on him. I gotta see it again as I'm kind of again reacting here as a spectator. It looks like they are giving him. Looks like Nathan Walker is getting 2 minutes for roughing. So is Dmitry Orlov. I don't think it has to do anything in regards to what happened to Askey. I think it's the response afterwards. but Walker is the guy, number 26 on the Blues. So the 30th, when the Sharks are back at the tank and the Blues are in our building, boo this man. Boo this man. Nathan Walker, number 26 of St. Louis. St. Louis. That's some BS, dude. All right. We got some 4-on-4 hockey here. I'm a big Alex Nedeljkovic fan. I feel like he is the better goaltender, but again, he's uncharacteristically allowed 18 goals in his last 4 games. Prior to these 4 losses in a row that he was a part of, that 5th one came from Laurent Brossoit, who was the backup goalie, now sent down to the AHL to San Jose Barracuda. But in the 4 L's that Nedeljkovic was a part of, 18 goals scored against. Prior to that, he was 7-2-1, I believe it was, in his last 10. So he could hold it down for half an hour. He could hold it down for 30 minutes here of hockey. But damn, dude, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe Askarov is down again, bro. All right, everybody. So just in case you forgot, I am Aaron, and this is live reaction to the action as the San Jose Sharks are looking for a dub against the St. Louis Blues in St. Louis. Right now, the game's going down at the Enterprise Center, and it's the 5th worst team in the NHL in the Blues versus the 6th worst team in the NHL, Sharks. Outside of a fight and Askarov leaving the game visibly shaken up, it's been uneventful and makes a lot of sense. I don't think these guys want to give up positioning here, but as I mentioned prior, man, Barrier sports fans, San Jose hockey fans, we need this dub, and we need to definitely get a goal after that. It's 4-on-4 hockey. They're cycling around. Eklund cycling around, takes a shot, not a good angle. Joel Hofer had that covered completely. 5 more seconds remaining on the 4-on-4 before we're back at even strength. And that's it. Out of the box. Man. 12 shots on goal for San Jose, 11 for the Blues. If you got money on the line, which a lot of you do when you join me on these watch-along parties, which, by the way, thank you very much for joining us here at Shark City Hockey for another watch-along party, another premium live stream, as we like to jokingly say. Right now, the Zibber win meter is now slightly going into St. Louis's favor with 52%, according to Money Puck. Of course, to start this game, even though the Blues are the 5th worst team and the Sharks are the 6th, the Blues were favored to win this game. They're favored to win 55% favor their way. So pretty much whoever scores next is going to be the the favorite here. Damn, I can't believe Askarov went down like that, bro. That's crazy. All right, TV timeout. TV timeout. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube or whichever platform you connect with us to, don't forget that you can chat along. You could chat along, interact with fans who are in the chat, or you could interact with yours truly. But damn, that was tough. Absolutely tough. I'm about stress eat. My cold quesadilla here. What? No, it's good. Thanks. Oh no, I'm out of juice. Come on, Sharks. Damn. All right. Face off in a neutral zone right above the Blues blue line. Michael Misa won that, but it goes way into the trapezoid for the Blues. They ice the puck, so we'll do that all over again, this time deeper in the offensive zone for San Jose. I'll step off screen really quick. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, fam. I appreciate y'all hanging out, watching along with your host, Aaron James. That's me. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to get the next goal. Who do you think is going to win this game? Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're a Sharks fan, if you're a Blues fan, or if you're just here because you got some money on the line. I mean, I'm sure this game will be chalked up. The narrative will be like, oh, the San Jose Sharks did such a fantastic job answering back from the Nashville Predators, and they held it down, and defensively they're more tight, and blah, 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 blah. But this has really just kind of been a game that they're kind of skating through. I mean, shots are either blocked or being missed wide. That was a nasty freaking opportunity right there. Wow. That was almost a good opportunity for the Blues if you're a St. Louis fan. Jonathan Berggren absolutely beats out Mario Ferraro. He tried to backhand it. Face-off won by the Blues in the Sharks zone. Delkovich plays a puck in the trapezoid. Oh, the puck gets to Jimmy Snuggerud. Whatever. Snuggerud. Thank you, home broadcasting team. Finally got on the audio. Man, my apologies, fam. I'm fumbling these names today. All right, finally a quality chance by Chief Keefe. Puck finds itself right in the crease, and Kiefer Sherwood puts a shot on goal. Quality opportunity. That's what you want to see. Unfortunately, didn't get into the netting. Pardon me. Sorry, Shoulder Sharky. That was the Sharks' 15th shot on net. Let me update the shot clock there. My fault. Less than 7 minutes remaining in the second frame. Another whistle. Refs, please don't decide this game for us. So I jokingly said on Threads, which by the way, follow us on Threads. I thank you to everybody who's been following us on Threads. We're actually growing exponentially there. But I made a joke saying that the Sharks' biggest rival is the third period, and then some fans kind of chirped back and said, "Nah, the biggest rivals thus far has been the referees," which has kind of been true. Whether it's calling some soft calls against us or not calling anything at all when we should have a power play. Case in point, like a shot that was taken at Celebrini's head that we are kind of talking about earlier in the live stream. So far they've been letting them play. Sharks they've committed 2 penalties. They've had 1 power play so far in this game. Now if you look at the penalty summary, it's going to be riddled with like Zach Ostapchuk and Nathan Walker's fighting and roughing and whatever, but offsetting penalties for one of them are for two of these. So for the most part, I think it's been fair. It's been called down the middle. I've been noticing though, the trend has been like the refs, and I don't know if this started a couple of weeks ago, because I've noticed that the trend, which is kind of getting a little exasperating here, but the trend in the tank lately has been the refs you suck chant. And I can't but wonder if they've taken exception to it finally, because it seems as if the officiating is exceptionally lopsided at the tank, not in our favor. So part of me is I'm just trying to have something to talk about as this game is slowly ticking away into the second intermission here. We need a damn goal. But I stand by what I said throughout this live stream. We may be watching 2 teams who do not want to win this game. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, baby. What's worse than getting absolutely spanked is to get shut out. So come on, Sharks, let's go. Homie left this comment like at the beginning of the game, and it still stands true, man. All right, TV timeout. Time to change this. Let's see what this has to offer. All right, so I just want to thank you all again for joining me here. I'm Aaron James. I'm your host of this live watch-along party with real-time reaction to the action, courtesy of Shark City Hockey. If you haven't followed us already on social media, please do so. Our content hub is on Instagram at Shark City Hockey. And as this season comes to a close, barring the Sharks clinching a playoff spot, I just want to say that it's been an absolute delight delivering San Jose Sharks content and connecting with other San Jose hockey fans for the last 7 years. We are continuing to try to build, as we always do, and try to improve the quality of our content, season after season, typically month after month. Like, we try to keep it going, try to keep it fresh throughout the season because, National Hockey League, you're playing, there's not much, not much like room for slowing down, right? Like, you got the draft, then you got the preseason in September, and then from October all the way through April, you got the regular season and all these other things that happen in between. So point I'm trying to make is, thank you all for, supporting us and being, along for our hockey journey. We appreciate every single one of you. And we're going to continue to try to deliver some more content to you as we kind of immerse ourselves in what the next step is going to be for Shark City Hockey, which is going to be opinion, news, and entertainment, which is essentially what we've always been. But, got some new things that I'm going to be launching soon. And I'm looking forward to collaborating with other San Jose Sharks and Barracuda hockey fans out there. So, again, our content hub, our home is at Instagram. Thank you for joining us for these live watch-along parties. More than likely, our YouTube channel, which, by the way, thank you. 1,000 subscribers. It took us forever, but thank you so much to the 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on Twitch, by the way, I see you. I recognize you. I appreciate you as well. But more than likely, we'll be turning the Twitch streams and the YouTube streams into a hub for exclusively for our live watch-along parties. So I know I missed you all season. Again, my apologies. Been busy. Finally got my evenings back, and I'm excited to connect with you all for the rest of the remainder of the season. With the exception for the games that I'm actually in attendance for, I will do my absolute very best to connect with you all for the remaining dozen or so games left here in the season. Fingers crossed. I'm not writing my Sharks out just yet. I really hope to see these guys get into the playoffs. However, I'm absolutely prepared, like most of you out there, for what seems to be another season of missing these playoffs. And as I just mentioned, doing this for 7 years, a lot of creators out there have the opportunity, as I'm peeking here. Again, we get this live stream ahead. Our live game tracker is ahead of the stream that we see on TV, and it looks like the St. Louis Blues just scored a goal. Wow. All right. St. Louis Blues get the first goal. They strike first. So for you Sharks fans who are hoping for the tank to be on, right before this period ends, the Sharks surrender a goal. Goal scored by, pardon me if I'm not pronouncing this right, Dalibor Dvorsky, assisted by Dylan Holloway and Jimmy Snuggerud. If I said that correctly, great. If not, oh well. My apologies. And I don't mean it disrespectfully. I just got to get along with the program. So at 2:41 in the second period, San Jose Sharks surrender the first goal of the game. And damn. It looks like it's, yeah. Like I said, hoping we get the playoffs, but if we don't, it is what it is. For 7 years, what I'm trying to get at is we've been doing this for 7 years, and for 7 consecutive seasons, the Sharks, since we started every single one of those seasons, they did not make the playoffs. Almost every season prior to that, they were. And, it's been fun, that's what I'm trying to say, being on this hockey journey with you all, because unlike some of the content creators out there who kind of launched their, their coverage in a sense, during the glory year, the Stanley Cup final year, had, Sharks hockey at its height. We had the unique pleasure and challenge of trying to, bring some engaging, relatable content to the fans out there during probably one of the worst times in franchise history. So, again, I just do this because I'm a fan. I don't do this to toot my own horn. There is no desire to become a media member or some kind of credible media source or something. I just simply do this because I am a fan. And at the time when we decided to launch Shark City Hockey and do these watch-along parties, these are just things that I feel were lacking, that weren't available for the fan base. And I decided, okay, I could either wish we have it or try to do something about it. So Super happy to have been doing this for 7 years. Looking forward to our 8th season with y'all. And again, follow us at Shark City Hockey on Instagram. That's our content hub. And, you'll find some of the most relatable Sharks content out there, and you'll probably find a lot of the Till trend starting right there. So that's the only time I'll toot my horn. All right, on that last part. 1 minute, about 1 minute remaining in the period here. 40 minutes of hockey is almost been played. And right now the Sharks are losing this game 1-0. Stress eat this. All right, 33 seconds remain. Wow. That's crazy, man. I'm revisiting that goal. So it essentially started with a zone exit by St. Louis. Holloway essentially takes the puck from his own blue line deep to behind the Sharks goal line. Passes it along the boards to the half wall. Gets the puck passed right back to him in the trapezoid. It looked like he may have lost possession of it. Not too sure if it was even a pass, but I think he gets a credit assist because he's still the last player to touch it. And then Dvorsky just buries it home on a snapshot for his 11th of the season. So Sharks just get caught. I really don't have any. I don't know why. Like, the Sharks just get kind of caught watching the puck, in my opinion. Ferraro, Chernishoff, and Smith, they all just kind of like get stuck in the slot. Some of you call it the high danger zone, and they kind of just allowed the Blues to, maneuver that puck in their own zone at will. So it is what it is. All right. That was pretty tough second period for San Jose Sharks fans. Not only did we see our netminder, Yaroslav Askarov, leave the game shaken up, and I'm pretty sure if I go and check the Sharks public relations account, they're going to probably say what we already know, which is that he may not be returning for the game. Let's just get that confirmed. Nothing yet, but I don't see why. This is his first game back after being injured, and he's already shaken up. I don't see him returning for the rest of the game. So, that happened a little early, maybe like halfway through the period, like right around like the 10-minute mark of the period, to be honest with you. And then right before it ends, the Sharks surrender the first goal of the game. So St. Louis Blues have the 1-goal lead headed into the second intermission. This is Shark City Hockey's premium live stream. It's a watch-along party. Real-time reaction to the action as the San Jose Sharks are facing off against the St. Louis Blues at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Sharks are looking for a dub. They are currently on a 5-game losing streak. Meanwhile, the St. Louis Blues, even though they are the 5th worst team in the National Hockey League, they've been on an absolute freaking heater. The last 10 games are 7-1-2, if I'm not mistaken. 7-1-2. Let me just double check that stat real quick. Either way, 7 victories in the last 10. We'll do an intermission report in a little bit here. But yeah, just stay tuned, all right? Stay tuned. We'll be right back, fam. We'll be right back. All right, baby. Let's do that second intermission report. All right. Sounds like Sharks are right now trailing this game. They have 20 minutes to get back into it. Otherwise, that is it. You can pretty much kiss the playoffs goodbye. I mean, we're pretty much there already, right? If they win this game, they have about 13% chance of still getting that final wild card spot. Of course, most fans think they have to win about 10 of the 13 remaining games to potentially steal the last spot in the wild card or in the Western Conference. Stanley Cup, the last spot in the Western Conference for the Stanley Cup playoffs. My bad. But as I already mentioned, if they really want to be control of their own destiny here, which as of right now they still technically are, they have to essentially win every single game for the remainder of the season, all 13, to guarantee a playoff berth. That's a tall ask. Speaking of which, Yaroslav Askarov went down in that second period, halfway through the game, visibly shaken up. Pretty nasty situation, man. Essentially, oh my gosh. I gotta look at it again. I'll look at it again, maybe after this live stream. But essentially, Nathan Walker, number 26 for the St. Louis Blues. Remember that number, Sharks fans? Number 26, St. Louis Blues. The Blues will be at the Shark Tank on the 30th. That's just in 4 days. All right, so this weekend, when the Sharks come back to the tank, they will be rather Monday, pardon me. So next week, when the Sharks come back to the tank, they'll be hosting the Blues. And, you know, the guy to boo when they touch the puck is Nathan Walker, number 26 of the St. Louis Blues. Again, I got to check out the replay, see how it happened exactly. But I don't know if he intentionally or was essentially bumped into Oski, but he landed on Askarov and his left leg. You know, if you were watching from the skate up to the knee, you know, where his padding is, two things looked pretty nasty. It looked like the ankle looked a little tweaked, and it looked like the knee was a little bit back. Now, I'm not going to speculate how he was hurt, or if he is hurt, or if it's going to mean that he will not return to the game. More than likely, he's not going to return to the game. That's just my prediction. Or if that means he's going to miss more time than he already has. This is his first game back since March 10th. But nonetheless, very, very, very troubling sight to see. Outside of that, you know, the only other like big event that happened outside of being scored on the final minute there, in the final seconds rather, couple of minutes, sorry, was Zach Ostapchuk showed absolutely no mercy to Logan Meliu. Just connected right hand after right hand after right hand after right hand. All right, so let's just go to the scoring here. Dalibor Dvorsky got his 11th goal of the season at 17 minutes and 19 seconds of that second period, so just a little bit under 3 minutes to go in the second. That makes it 1-0. Shots on goal for St. Louis is 17, San Jose 15. The face-offs has absolutely been dominated. The face-off circle, the face-off dot has been absolutely dominated by the Blues. They got 61.9% of the wins. Penalty and minutes are piling up for the Sharks. There's been a lot of offsetting penalties here, meaning like some 4-on-4 hockey or, you know, like fighting, for example. But, you know, 21 penalty minutes for the Sharks, 9 for the Blues, 18 hits for San Jose, 21 for St. Louis, 6 block shots for the Sharks, 15 for the Blues, 14 giveaways. A lot of them happening in that neutral zone and in the offensive zone. As a matter of fact, we're going to look at that right now. SJ giveaway. We're going to count how many giveaways are occurring. So I got 1, 2, 3. Actually, I take that back. I'm counting the wrong one. Let's look at defensive zone giveaways. My bad. Defensive zone giveaways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 of the 14 giveaways are in the defensive zone, and guess whose names are popping up a lot? Dickinson and Desharnais. Man, I would really love a Sharks win tonight. Same here, brother. Absolutely, same here. All right, so right now St. Louis has a 1-0 lead. They have a 1-0 lead in the season series. Again, they will be at the Shark Tank for the final game of the season series, March 30th, in just 4 days from now. Anything else we really need to go into? Shots on goal for San Jose. They've only got 6 in that period. All right, so they had 9 in the first, 6 in that second. St. Louis has 6 in the first, 11 in the second. So the game is starting to, or the ice rather, is starting to tilt. It's starting to tilt in St. Louis's favor, and that's what happens when you have 59% of puck possession. So not only is the ice tilting in their favor, but the puck is more often on their tape of their stick than it is for the San Jose Sharks. Oh yeah, that's cray. That goal that was scored again, it kind of looked a little fluky, but as in, like, I don't know if it was like he just lost. Like, it looked like a backhand attempt was made, and then Dvorsky essentially cleaned it up. He was just in the right spot at the right time. He was right there standing in the high danger zone, as you call it. I call it the slot, but right there between the hash marks of both face-off circles, and he just buried it. He absolutely buried it. So he was 19 feet away from the goal line, right? So even though that sounds far away, like 19 feet away from the goalie, the goal line, that's like right in front of the goalie, like practically right in front of the crease, right? Again, in between those hash marks, the face-off circle. It was a 12% chance of being a goal, 70% chance of being on net, but it doesn't matter. He scored on it. It was even strength goal with 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the second period. And yeah, that made it 1-0. And that's where we pretty much are. Nedeljkovic again had to get into this game. We all thought maybe he was going to get a night off. I mean, he surrendered 18 goals in his last 4 games uncharacteristically, but nonetheless, that's what happened. And this was Askarov's first game back after, again, injuring a lower body, his 4th lower body injury on the books since he's been in San Jose. And that's his first game back since March 10th, since he injured himself for like the 2nd time during practice. So, at what point do you say, all right, Askey, just stay out, man. Just let him heal up. Let him have the rest of the freaking season off. With all due respect, his last 10 games, he's 2-6-2. I know we're trying to get him, build up his confidence, try to be like, all right, let's get that development going and try to like build on something to go into next season. But I mean, just rest him up. Just rest him up. Call up Laurent Brossoit and give him some NHL minutes. Might as well. Because during the Nashville game, which is obvious, the broadcasters could state it, fans know it. Even though Askey was practicing and he was available, he made the road trip with the Sharks. It was pretty obvious in the last game that he was not going to get any game time, even though he was dressed and he was technically going back up to Nedeljkovic. There's no way that the Sharks were going to put Askey in, even though Ned was getting absolutely handled, and it's not really his fault, in Nashville. So the point I'm trying to make is, maybe he did come back a little too early for this game. Obviously, Ned needed some relief, but, maybe Laurent Brossoit should have not been sent down to the minors, to Dakota. Maybe he should have went with the Sharks, and maybe Askarov should just be given some time to just heal up and build up for next season. Build up, his, strength, whatever he needs to do, rest up. Because damn, dude, based off what I'm seeing, that looks like a lower body injury, which would be his 5th official lower body injury on the books in just 2 seasons, less than 2 seasons that he's been in San Jose. He's supposed to be our franchise goaltender. And I made the analogy earlier. It's like if your quarterback injures his throwing arm, you need that lower body to make butterfly saves, to be in a butterfly position, to make kick saves, so on and so forth. Being a goalie in general usually your stance is like this with your legs. And that within itself takes, like, you're usually at a V. Just look at how the pads meet. And that within itself, because I used to play goalie, is challenging. Challenging as it is. So, long story short is, give this guy the rest of the freaking season off. Just give him the rest of the season off, man. Let him heal up that lower body. Because he's supposed to be, again, he's a rookie. He's a rookie still. Even though he's been in the league for a minute, he's still considered a rookie in the National Hockey League. And he's supposed to be our potential franchise goaltender, right? So maybe just rest him up and call up Brossois. Anyways, now it's time. Now it's time for this final frame here. Third period is underway. Let's see if the Sharks can make a comeback. My bad, Sharky. All right. Here come the Sharks, advancing the puck outside their own zone here. Just essentially give the puck away. The Blues are waiting to set up, looking how they want to exit their own zone. They exit their own zone without any pressure. Dump the puck deep. Muka Madulin is there behind the goal line, sends it to the opposite wall. Celebrini now taps it out to Muka Madulin. Madulin tries to take a shot on net as he drives a puck near the half wall. Chief to the point to Ferraro, who gives it to Wenberg, who's by the left faceoff circle. Wenberg now back to Mauro Ferraro with another shot that goes wide. Keefe, that's Kiefer Sherwood, gets a puck, sends to Ferraro. He shoots it, and it gets blocked again. Ferraro, I appreciate what you're trying to do, bro. But all night, you've just been either shooting into bodies or shooting it wide. Look for the pass. Nope, he's going to throw it toward the net again. That one gets deflected by Chief, my bad. Kiefer Sherwood to the net. But that's saved by Hofer. All right. All right, let's go. At this point of the game, you know, you want to win it, you want to score, you want to try to get this dub, but you're going to start seeing like I don't know the words for it. I'm fumbling on the verbiage, but you're going to start seeing this game get dissected down to like the game within the game. I kind of said this a couple of times throughout the stream. The way this game's being played by both teams, you don't really see a lot of like urgency. Maybe you have two teams that don't want to win the game because right now Sharks are 6th worst in the league. The Blues are 5th worst in the league, which means that they have a top 5 pick. Should the Blues hold on to this 1-0 victory and should the Sharks lose, then the Sharks become the 5th best, or rather 5th worst team in the league. And now we have a top 5 pick, hypothetically, you know, granted whatever the results of the draft lottery is. I was kind of messing around the draft lottery too earlier this morning on Tankathon. It took a little bit of it took several attempts, but long story short is you know, the Sharks could jump to 2nd overall, which would be pretty dope. A lot of the top defensive prospects, believe it or not, are top 7 picks, top 10 picks. You know, obviously, the higher the higher position we have as far as the draft board goes, the better chances we have at getting a blue chip prospect on the D line, which is, I'm sure, what the Sharks are probably aiming for. That's what our need is. For those of you who are wondering, goaltending, well, we got Joshua Ravensburger last season, so I can't wait for him to get called up, back up Askey, or Ned in that case, since Ned was extended. So, you know, can't wait for Ravensburger to join the CUDA, I guess is a better way of saying it. But I'm not too sure what the question what is over there, Stone Cold Steve Austin, but what I'm trying to say is these teams don't appear to want to win, as ridiculous that sounds. This is going to be one of those games where You're going to focus on the player development side, which is another way of saying the game within the game. You want to see your prospects do things right. You want to see the veterans, win the battles, all those little nuances that make you a better competitive hockey team and our player rather. And that's what's really coming down to, right? Like on our Instagram page at Shark City Hockey, some of the fans are kind of suggesting like man, some of these vets, which the majority of them are unrestricted free agents this upcoming offseason, probably are just kind of like I don't want to say checking out, but at this point, it's like I don't even want to say what's the point, because to me, it's like you have a chance to make the playoffs, but this is one of those games where it reminds me, as I said, the last few seasons during the rebuild. They'll claim no one tanks in the National Hockey League, just like no one tanks in the National Basketball Association. But back to the point is, just reminds me of like the past couple of seasons where toward the end of the season, like you have two teams that are in the basement of the National Hockey League, and they're playing games where they really don't seem like they want to win. At this point, that's just pure fan speculation. Pardon me. This is a live reaction to the action. And based off what I've seen throughout this game, it's just a lack of urgency. Maybe the Sharks are playing tight. Maybe they don't want to make mistakes. Maybe they don't want to be benched in the game. And maybe they're hesitant considering the butt kicking that they just experienced in Nashville. So part of me is I just kind of try to rationalize what it is that's going on here, as the Sharks are being shut out. But yeah, still time to come back and win this game. Still time. Come on, Sharks. Get it out of the zone. All right. Come on, Wimberg. Oh. Finally some passion. Some compete. Great individual effort by Alexander Wimberg. He puts the puck off the post. Here come the Sharks. Eklund. Nice pass to Smith. Smith scores! Yeah, Will Smith with his third goal in just 2 games. The only Shark, in my opinion, who's been coming through consistently. That, my friend.
Let's go!
Time. Hey. There we go. My bad. Just one more. All right, so we got a tie game here, fam. Tie game, finally. I love it when the Sharks prove me wrong. I'll take that any day, baby. Finally back in this game. My gosh. That took forever. Whew, so you're telling me we have a chance, baby. Alexander Wenberg gets his 14th of the season. Assisted by William Eklund, his 31st assist of the year. And Chief Keef. Shark up in the water. Kiefer Sherwood gets his 9th assist of the season. Tied game 5 minutes and 4 seconds into the third period. Alexander Wenberg scores off of a wrist shot. Absolutely love it. Alexander Wenberg's goal was scored 18 feet away from the net. Even strength again, assisted by Eklund and Sherwood. And we got a tie game, baby. That was a pretty goal. Yes, it was. That's crazy because Wenberg made a great individual effort just moments prior to that goal. And it went off the post. Then he goes over there and gets the assist. I don't know why I said Will Smith. I don't know why I said Will Smith. My bad, fam. I know I reacted real quick, so I was just happy to see a goal. I could have sworn that was Smitty. I don't know what I'm seeing anymore. I don't know what I'm seeing. Alex Wenberg. I don't know why I said Smitty right off the back. My bad. All right. TV timeout. TV timeout. So Alexander Wenberg did score that goal. I apologize for my mistake there. But finally, effing finally is all I gotta say. All right, tie game, courtesy of Alexander Wenberg. San Jose Sharks, one of their Olympians. So let's get the music going here really quick, as I need to make sure all my stats are up to date for y'all here. So boom, nope, my bad. Boom, boom. 19 shots on net for each squad. Got 13 minutes remaining in the third period. My bad. Third period. Sorry, fam. There we go. Fumbling right now, but it's all good. It's about time, bro. My gosh. We needed that. You know, Sharks are keeping it interesting. They're keeping our hopes alive. They're, you know, quit playing games with my heart. Again, if the San Jose Sharks do win this game, our chances of getting that final wildcard spot in the West is 13%. So we still got a journey ahead of us, but nonetheless, man, it'd be nice to it'd be nice. All right, pardon me, fam, as I try to take care of the socials here. All right, TV timeout. We're back. About 12 minutes remaining here in regulation. Tied game, courtesy of Alex Wenberg. take care of our social, take care of our following. Again, follow us on Instagram at Shark City Hockey if you're not doing so already. Really appreciate that. That's our content hub. You probably heard me say that plenty of times on the stream. Whereas this YouTube channel more than likely will be converted into these live watch along parties, which we're going to try to get together as often as possible for the remainder of the season. And yeah, more than likely going to be doing a watch along for that Monday night hockey game in San Jose. All right, so the Blues are answering back. We are almost halfway through this third period here. So now would be a good time for the San Jose Sharks to kind of keep the momentum, keep the Blues on their heels, but the Blues are answering right back as far as matching that energy. Oh, opportunity, Will Smith. Oh, no, that was definitely Will Smith. He had an opportunity for a breakaway there, but he elected to kind of stop in place, pivot. Man, what a game. It took a while. It took a while for this to become competitive, but here we are, 1-1 tie. Feel like we're about to have ourselves a mini hockey game here for these final 10 minutes because both teams kind of are waking up. Revisiting that Alexander Wenberg goal, it was pretty sweet because, that started with him essentially recovering the puck off of a rebound in the slot in his own zone. He tapped it up to Kiefer Sherwood, who then feeds it to Willem Eklund. Willem Eklund, zone entry, offensive zone. He enters along the boards. He has Sherwood right next to him to his right side, and Alexander Wenberg, check on Sharky there, please, Shea Barkey, and Alexander Wenberg, zone entry, so lightweight 3-on-2 action there. Sherwood finds Wenberg, who then shoots it. Boom, goal. Nice. Did Sherwood even, was that an Eki pass? I think that was an Eki pass. Sherwood gives it to Eki enters the zone. Oh yeah, that was an Eki pass behind Sherwood all the way across the slot, leaving Wenberg one-on-one with Hoffer, and he just buries it on a wrist shot. Beautiful goal for his 14th of the season by Alex Wenberg. All right. Here we are. Let's go Sharks. Son of a Beasley, come on. All right. 8:28 TV timeout. My bad. Taking care of the socials there. Let's change up the tempo here on this music. I want to thank everybody who's kind of popped in and out and joined along. That was a pretty goal. Just highlighting some of y'all comments here throughout the show. If you're watching us on Twitch or on YouTube, feel free to chime in, chat amongst yourselves, or drop a comment, interact with yours truly. I'm your host, Aaron James. We are about 42 minutes deep into this game here. Must win for the Sharks if they want to keep the fan base engaged and B, their playoff hopes alive, right? I mean, let's be real. The last 5 games were tough, especially that one against Nashville, man. Past is the past. So we got 8 minutes to go. And as our latest comment says, please one goal. Absolutely. I'm imagining that please one goal doesn't matter on who it is. Most of y'all who like to join this watch along party, which is power to you, are here because you got some money on the line. All right. So I imagine that you need at least one more goal to make your parlay. So, I'm hoping that happens in the form of a San Jose Sharks game winner. So thank you all for joining us here again. Oh, yep, there you are, chiming in. Need one goal. All of you that are watching and hoping to see one more goal to meet your parlay, please let me know where you are chiming in for today's watch along party as we provide real-time reaction to the action. Sounds like Sharks are currently tied up with the St. Louis Blues. Second game of the season series between these two squads. It's a 1-0 St. Louis lead in the season series. Season series will wrap up in 4 nights from now at the Shark Tank, March 30th. Sharks host the Blues. And speaking of which, the Blues come right out of their zone with some speed. Again, I feel like we're going to have a mini hockey game here for 8 minutes. Maybe some more competitive hockey than what we've seen as of late. You know what I mean? Sharks now with possession in their own zone. Behind the trapezoid is look like Winnie. Yep. Eklund enters the zone. Kiefer Sherwood, Willem Eklund, Alexander Wimberg. That line that scored that only Sharks goal is out there again with Dickinson and is that Letty? All right, here we go. Sharks playing with a little bit more urgency now. Oh, stop. Nope, that's Chernyshov now. By the half wall. He has Celebrini for support. Celebrini sends it to the point. Letty has it at the point. Gives it to Dickinson, who falls down, keeps possession of puck, sends it deep behind the goal line. Smith now gets possession of it behind the goal line, sends it to the point, passed right back to him. Smith to Chernyshov, backdrops to Celebrini. Sharks just kind of playing tic-tac-toe with the pass in here. Please put a freaking puck on the net. They don't hold possession of the puck in the zone. Here come the Blues driving and takes a shot that goes wide. That rebounds on Smith's stick. He has Celebrini. Nice pass in the slot, and Celebrini is unable to get the shot off. Or maybe Holford does make the save. Celebrini is thrown to ice. Sharks take possession in the neutral zone. Look at Graf deking through the defense and puts it into the glove of Hoffer, man. That's what I'm talking about. Some more competitive hockey. Now these guys are waking up. It's like they were saving their energy, and now we're getting those bursts of freaking energy and high tempo hockey here in the final moments of this game. I love it. Whew. All right, my bad. Paying attention to my comment section here on the other side of the socials. All right, Sharks now pressing. They are behind the goal line in St. Louis' zone. Graf sent it to the point. Ferraro dumps it. The goalie comes out. Holford came out and no Shark was there to, press. That could have been a great opportunity for us, but it doesn't matter. Here comes Michael Misa now. Zone entry, gives it a Graf. Graf back to Misa. Graf turns it over. Oh, Adam got it. Absolutely shook off the puck. A lot of players are kind of, blowing tires out there. And a lot of turnovers in neutral zone. Here come the Blues taking advantage of a turnover. They are not able to get the shot off as Nate blocks the pass. Again, we got a lot more action in this little sample size of hockey here, like less than 6 minutes, 8 minutes. Is picking up. Dude, the goalie Hoifer keeps coming out of the net. I love it. All right, Orlov, shoot from the freaking point. That looks like it went wide. Man, I love it. I know I'm going to do play-by-play, by the way, but when I get into it, I like to I'll let you all know where the action's at. Sharks are pressing. Oh, here come the Blues now. Exit the zone, but they turn it over. Sherwood now. Zone entry. Drop pass to the point to Winberg. Winberg to the slot to Eklund. He can't get it, but Dickinson gets possession, cleans that up, holds the zone, gives it to Letty. He sends it all the way around. Sherwood again takes possession of the puck. No shots off goal. And some more tic-tac-toe passing. It looks like we're just trying to create space. Someone put it on net. Dickinson to Smith. Smith. Why do they keep electing to pass it to the freaking to the slot when there's four other skaters there? The Blues are literally in a contain/protect the net defensive formation. You have 3 or 4 skaters in between the hash marks, high danger zone in that slot, collapsing on the one Shark attacker, yet we keep trying to center the damn pass to him. Sorry, getting a little bit passionate here. Just freaking throw it on net wherever you are. You may not have a lane, but just throw it on net. Let's go. My bad, fam. All right. Less than 3 minutes. Less than 3 minutes here. If it does go to overtime and we get a point and we win, our chances still are 13% of making that last wild card. A loss in any fashion, though, is going to send us to at least 5% of getting a wild card spot. So, all right, here comes the Sharks. They're able to clear the zone momentarily, but they are wrestled off the puck in the neutral zone. Sharks are stuck in between their own defensive zone. Oh my gosh. Wilk McDolan absolutely gives it away, and what a lucky, fortunate situation for the Sharks that they're not able to capitalize. But the Blues now bring that pressure. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, not looking good. Oh! There was a pass far post, almost freaking buried it wide open. They missed it. The Blues now with about a little bit more than 90 seconds, a little less than 90 seconds. Come on. Let's go Sharks. Blues dancing around. Still controlling the puck is St. Louis. Shot deflected up into the netting. Wow. Come on, fam. So Muhammad Dolan gave that puck away right at the point in his own defensive zone. And Pavel Bulnevich, I cannot say that name, I'm sorry, almost deked it right through Muhammad Dolan's leg, and Muhammad Dolan was barely last minute able to kind of get a stick to block a shot attempt, but damn, that would have been nasty. 1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining in regulation. Who is this guy rooting for? Who is this guy? If you're talking about the host, it's pretty obvious. I'm going for the Sharks. This is Shark City Hockey live stream. Welcome to the watch along party with real-time reaction to the action. It's a tied game. We got 40 seconds or less remaining. We might be going to OT unless the Sharks can do it right here. That's going to be icing. Icing. All right. Icing against the Blues. Opportunity for San Jose right here. 26 seconds left to try to get the game winner. Absolutely agree. Sharks better win. Absolutely agree. I know. I feel you. It says my heart's like a drum. You got people here who need to win their parlay. So I imagine I get that a lot. It's all good. All hockey fans are welcome here. I don't care what team you're a fan of, or if you're a fan of no team and you're just a fan of trying to win some cash. I get it. I'm glad that you all are here. Someone needs the Sharks to win for 20K. Damn, let's go Sharks. Overtime. Guarantee overtime. I'm going to overtime. Wow. We are in OT now, fam. All right, so let me see. Do I have it here yet? Not yet. All right, so since we're at OT, let's go ahead and talk about how we got here. All right, so some things you need to catch up on. First, let me just make sure my score bug here is all caught up. So pardon me 1 second as I try to get that squared away. Boom, boom. All right, OT. We are in OT now. All right, so some of the things you got some of the main events that happened during this game. Okay, so it's kind of been a lackluster game. First goal was scored in the second period by Dalibor Dvorsky. The last goal, the only Sharks goal, of course, was Alexander Wennberg. That tied it up. Some other things that are of note in this game. We have it on our Instagram at Shark City Hockey. That's our content hub. So you go ahead and check it out there right now after the stream. But Zach Ostapchuk got in a fight with Logan Mailloux, and my gosh, he showed no mercy. Absolutely no mercy to him. Connected right after right after right. I mean, it got to a point where Logan was just staring at him like, I've had enough. You know what I mean? So that was crazy. And then Nathan Walker, bro, number 26 of the Blues. Again, boo this man at the Shark Tank on March 30th because he landed on Askarov halfway through the game, and Askarov had to leave. Looked like he landed on his left leg, and that's why Nedeljkovic is back in this game. All right, we're about to start overtime right now. Ooh-wee. Now my heart is really bump because I want this dub, fam. Just like all of you out there, I want this dub. So it says both Blues and Sharks going to be top teams a couple of years. Yep. Sharks been lacking lately. Yes, they have. That's why I want this dub on a 5-game losing skid right now. It's actually our first point that we've earned in 6 games, so that's a plus. And it's turning out to be a pretty good game. The last 8 minutes of regulation have been exactly what we wanted to see here. All right, now we got overtime. 3-on-3 overtime. Last time we did a watch along party, it was a 3-on-3 overtime USA victory in the golden goal. The the gold medal game, pardon me. So here we are again. Hopefully the Sharks can get that dub. Here come the Blues into the zone. First shot. That goes out of play. Woo! Scary stuff. Scary times. I appreciate the comments. Says thanks for the channel, my man. Appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you out there who subscribed. We finally made 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. All right. Wittenberg into faceoff dot. It was a fun show because I was going for Team USA. So that was fun for me. Even though celebrating was in Canada, I'll be 100 with you, baby. I was going for Team USA. All right. Blues now with possession in the Shark zone, cycling at the point. They exit the zone. They elect to retreat into their own zone. By the center faceoff circle, the Blues are trying to figure out a zone entry. Probably trying to get the Sharks out of position, trying to create space. Blues into the Shark zone, pass it back to the neutral zone and retreat, back skating into their own zone again. Here they go, entering the Shark zone. Pass across the rink, back to the point. Put on the stick in the face-off circle, and then just retreating right back to neutral zone are the Blues. The Blues have been controlling this damn puck. Oh! Homie went down, but no penalty, thank goodness. All right. Blues still with the puck glued to their sticks. At the point. Now driving into the half, while the Blues are just like literally caressing this puck closer and closer and closer to the crease. Come on, Sharks, let's go. There we go, finally. Celebrini makes a play on it. He gives it to Orlov. Orlov stretch pass. Oh, he didn't connect to Wenberg. Goalie way opposition. Wenberg's trying to press, but really low effort attack on Wenberg on the goalie there, who was way out of the net. Whew! The Blues get an opportunity. They miss. Now Eklund. Dickinson on the wing. Eklund shoots and it's saved by Hoffer. Damn, son. Let's go, Sharks. Halfway through this overtime period, Chief Keefe. He pokes the check away deep enough in the zone, but falls on the defender there. So the Blues do recover. And here they go, entering the Shark zone one more time. It's getting a little bit sloppy out there from both squads. However, Blues still maintain puck possession here in this overtime. Come on, Sharks. Come on. Just dancing around and passing it around in the high slot. Good stick. Good job, Eklund. Here come the Sharks. 3-on-1. They hurry. Eklund, pass it. Dickinson. Oh, man. Dickinson had a chance to be a hero. Now here they come. The Blues 2-on-1. Keith Chief is back there. Woo! He did just enough to disrupt that pass, man. About 90 seconds remaining in this overtime period, and then we're going to do the shootout. Hopefully the Sharks can get a goal before then. But the Blues have just been holding this puck the whole time. Dvorsky makes a move past Celebrini. Now he's winding up in the slot. He shots. He takes a shot. My bad. It's high. Come on, baby. Oh, good job, Nedeljkovic. Nedeljkovic holding it down in OT. Woo. Got a whistle. I think this is going to go to a shootout. We'll see. We got a minute 10. This faceoff's about to be deep in the Shark zone. So let's see. Come on, Sharks. Sharks took a timeout. Timeout, San Jose. All right, with 70 seconds remaining, the San Jose Sharks elect to take their timeout, which makes sense. This faceoff is critical. It's deep in our zone. More than likely going to be on the right side of Nedeljkovic. All right, here we go. All right, looks like Wenberg is going to take the face-off. He's solid on the face-offs. Looks like Orlov and Celebrini are out there with him. All right, Wenberg wins it. Orlov now behind the trapezoid. Just calming it down, setting it up. Passes Celebrini, but Celebrini's going to kind of skate back. He then passes to Wenberg, who elects to skate back. Wenberg drops to Celebrini. The Sharks are just kind of dancing around in that slot in their own defensive zone. Now here comes Celebrini's zone entry. Macklin Celebrini tries to hold the zone, kind of loses the puck. And it's a battle along the boards at the neutral zone. The Blues recover into the Shark zone, and they elect to skate it back again into the dang neutral zone. My gosh. All right, Celebrini steals a puck on a zone entry attempt by the Blues. He tried to backhand it, but he does get it. Actually, here comes Celebrini. Zone entry. My bad. Lost side of the puck. Wide open in a slot. High danger zone is Orlov, and he shoots it a little wide. Blues shoot and score. The Blues recover that. Ah, damn. Orlov's shot goes way wide, and it bounces all the way back to the freaking Shark zone. And Dylan Holloway is there to retrieve that puck and go uncontested to the crease and just backhands it with only 3 seconds remaining in overtime to win the game for St. Louis. Damn, son. Damn. That is the absolute. Great opportunity. Orlov had a chance right there. But again, that shot that just bounced all the way to the zone. Oh my God, what a nasty freaking backhand. Straight top shelf. Did he hit the water bottle? Well, if it was still there, he would have hit the water bottle. I forgot they got a little container in the back. Dylan Holloway is the overtime hero for St. Louis. If there's any consolation prize for some of the Sharks fans, that means that St. Louis is now 6th best or 6th worst, and the Sharks drop to 5th worst in the National Hockey League, which means we now have a top 5 draft pick. Oh, gosh. It also means that the losing streak is 6 games, and the Sharks' playoff chances drop to 5% of getting that last wild card spot, dude. So, damn. Absolute heartbreaking way to lose that game. I mean, quite frankly, the Sharks had a long game to freaking, make something happen, and they didn't until the final moments of the third, in which they started to come alive and pour it on. But nonetheless, we are starting to look like we're inching closer to being eliminated mathematically from playoff contention. I know most of you out there probably think that we are pretty much, that's it. So your final out of Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri is 2-1. The Blues do get the victory here. Let's see. Let's look at the comment section here. I like both, so no hate on any of them. Sorry about the Sharks losing, man. I'm an As fan, but thanks for the stream. You did a great job. I appreciate the kind words and the encouragement. Honestly, bro, I'm surprised that the Sharks are even competing here, because for most of this game, I was feeling like I was watching two teams that didn't want to lose the fifth worst spot, that top 5 draft pick positioning prior to the draft lottery, right? So if there's any consolation prize to it, the Sharks do get a point in the standings. So, you know, if you want to say there's a chance, but we dropped to fifth worst in the league, so we're inching closer to maybe getting a blue chip prospect on the blue line, as many Sharks fans are kind of hoping to see happen, and which a lot of us are kind of being forced into acceptance, right? Crazy game, dude. Again, if you're not following us on Instagram, please do so at Shark City Hockey. That's our content hub. Quick shout out to all of you who've grown the channel. We've been doing this for 7 seasons now, and it's been a rough 7 seasons. And but nonetheless, you all been coming through. Appreciate the support. Our Instagram channel is over 27K. Thank you so much. And we just broke over 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Thank you all very much. Our YouTube channel, and if you're watching on Twitch, you're awesome as well. It's going to essentially be converted into these live watch-along parties with real-time reaction to the action for San Jose Sharks games and San Jose Barracuda games. So if you're a fan of just chilling and talking hockey, or chilling and chill, or if you're a betting man or woman and you want to just watch along with someone to see if you get your parlay, you're more than welcome to come through here. Give me one moment here. I'm going to update our ticker down here. Man, what a game. So let's just do the goals. But yeah, what a game. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, smash that like button if you're all still here. I always forget to call it action. So like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. I really appreciate all your all support. Let me just do this real quick. Allow me about 2 minutes here. If I may please have 2 minutes here to update this for you. Trying to get the goals lined up for you all here. So thank you for your patience. Boom. There we go. All right, so I guess we are technically in our game final show now. So we had our face-off countdown show not too long ago. Now we're in our game final show. Let me just make sure everything's coming through for you. There it is. There are your goal scorers. And let me just get the game-winning overtime goal scorer in there for y'all too, so we're all up to date. Dvorsky and Holloway for the St. Louis Blues, and Wenberg for the San Jose Sharks. That's the short version, the very summarized short version. Overall, that was a pretty solid game. Not too shabby for our first watch-along party of the season for the San Jose Sharks. Again, for those of you who were used to watching us all of last season, I do apologize for our absence. I've been busy. My nights have kind of been booked, but now that I got my evenings back, I am looking forward to the next dozen games remaining in the season to connect with y'all and do a watch along. And then of course, like we did last season, the Barracuda looked like they're about to make it to the Calder Cup playoffs in the American Hockey League for a second consecutive year. They're the only team here in San Jose that's been bringing us postseason action. So, make sure that you are, following along for us as we cheer on the CUDA. Even though the Shark season might be pretty much set and done, they, their AHL affiliate and their prospects are still, playing some very competitive hockey. So, yes, sir. That right there is pretty much your final out of St. Louis, 2-1. Biggest stories outside the goal scored and going the distance, and the Sharks potentially being closer to being mathematically eliminated from playoff contention is the fact that Yaroslav Askarov went down halfway through the game. Again, he just got his first start since being injured March 10th. he didn't get to finish this game, and that's really unfortunate because up until him being injured, he was playing solid. He didn't allow a goal. In fact, let's quickly look at his stats really quick here. Let's look at his stats for the minutes he played. So Oski got 11 shots faced and made 11 saves. He played 29 minutes and 2 seconds, so just 29 minutes pretty much before he was taken out. Again, if you're going to be attending the game at the Shark Tank on the 30th this Monday night, you're going to boo number 26, Nathan Walker, because that's a guy that took out Oski. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but he landed on his leg. And as those of you who've watched this live stream, the whole entire stream, or for those of you who've been following Sharks hockey, devoted Sharks fans out there, you are aware that this is now going to be the 5th time Askarov has been either taken out of game or potentially injured on a lower body. So we'll see what happens. Kind of sucks that, that's been the story since he's arrived. And at this point, I'm going to advocate for them to call up Laurent Brossoit from the CUDA, keep him as a backup, and you just mix him and Ned out for the remainder of the season. Let Oski sit out for the remainder of the season. Let him get healthy, completely healthy. And, rather than trying to develop him or build him up to solidify his position as a starting goaltender, because a lot of fans up until recently, Nedeljkovic was 7-2-1 before he went 0-4 and allowed 18 goals, very uncharacteristically of Ned. He's been solid all season long. As a matter of fact, he's a big reason why we were even still kind of in the wild card discussion. But back to the point, uncharacteristically, dropped 18 goals in 4 games. And I think you just let Ned and Brossoit close out the rest of the season. Let Askarov rest up. He's still our prospect. He's still has the potential to be the franchise goalie. Right now, again, he's still considered a rookie, but right now he's more of a fringe goaltender. Any given night, he's either solid or he's not. Prior to this game, he was 2-6-2 in his last 10. So for those of you who like to play analytics and play the stats game and like to throw numbers to prove your point, you can't ignore that. So hopefully, he's all right. And hopefully we get to see him play if it's not that serious. But based off what I've seen, based off what we all seen on the ice, and the fact that this is his first game back after getting hurt in a practice, I think you got to protect your investment. He cost us a first-round pick. We got that out of the Hurdle trade from Vegas, so really didn't cost us too much. But the point I'm trying to make is, if this is supposed to be the guy, if he's supposed to be the guy in San Jose, if the season is going to continue this way, just let him watch, man. Just let him rest up. Anyways, all right, so that was pretty chill, man. Pretty chill. Thank you all for coming through to Talk Till. I'm Aaron James. I think at this point, we're just going to call it a night. I appreciate you all and all your kind words and everyone that came through and, chatted up with me throughout the game. If you won some money tonight, congrats. If the Sharks unfortunately let you down, then, welcome to Sharks territory. It's been tough, but nonetheless, I've been super, I've been enjoying it, and I've been feeling blessed to be, having you be a part of this hockey journey here at Shark City Hockey. And I appreciate everybody who's been following us and supporting us the last 7 years as we close up our 7th season here soon of providing content that's made by fans, right? So as we say here, Shark City Hockey is powered by the fans and forged by the Bay. So we appreciate every one of you out there who's been so kind and, supporting us throughout all these years. And until next time, we're going to end it like we usually do with Let's Go Sharks. Let me just take a quick peek at the Sharks schedule here so I can kind of drop when we might get together again. Saturday at 2 o'clock, the San Jose Sharks are going to close out this road trip against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus Blue Jackets are, let's just take a quick peek at that game really quick while we're here, huh? Let's see how they've been doing. So Sharks lead that season series. So this Saturday at 2 o'clock, it's going to wrap up the season series. Sharks lead at 1-0. They defeated the Blue Jackets back in San Jose on January 6th. Score of 5-2. I'm not too sure what their 10-game record will be going into Saturday, but as of now, going into tonight, they are 6-2-2 in their last 10. So, there's another team that's been doing pretty solid, right? But we'll have to wait and see, how well the Sharks are going to do and who they're going to utilize, who they're going to dress, what Warzo puts in front of us, what the injury to Askarov is going to, do for, goaltending. We got a lot of questions now here as we get ready to close out this road trip. But nonetheless, more than likely Saturday afternoon we'll be right back at it. So be here. We'll probably go a little early, maybe about 1:45 Pacific time. All right. And until then, y'all have yourself a great rest of your day. Be safe, everybody. Enjoy your Friday night. That's tomorrow. And, spend your early afternoon here or late afternoon, depending on where you're watching, with us for another watch along party. So thank you all. You all been absolutely fantastic and jawsome. And with that, we're going to sign off for the rest of the evening. Thank you, guys.